we are still early enough in the new year that many of us are still trying to figure out what we're going to make of it. And even for those who don't make resolutions, and I don't make them, by the way, there is something about the start of the new year that invites us to think about what we want or what we're going to plan to do for the next 12 months. And this becomes a perfect time to take inventory because all of us are looking for meaning and purpose and connection. We are hoping to find out where we fit. We are looking for love, acceptance, and affirmation. And for people of faith, this search most often led us to join a church in the first place, or our participation in any faith community facilitates this opportunity to contemplate what our lives and our ministries mean. But it is an oft unstated truth that all of us, at one time or another, all of us have wondered, why do we come to church? Or we've wondered what makes us give our time, talent, and treasure to a particular faith community. All of us have experienced doubt and frustration and impatience about what we're supposed to do and be for God. Unfortunately, though, I fear that far too many people lose their faith or they leave their church before they find out exactly what God has in store. You see, I believe that when we are questioning why we are here, and by the way, it's okay, you should. But when we are questioning why we are here, or when we are wrestling with our doubts and our frustration and impatience, Jesus is asking a simple question he posed to his first disciples in the Gospel of John. What are you looking for? And I suspect that we fail to wrestle seriously with that question because we either do not hear it, or we assume that we already know what we're looking for, or we just assume that it's not, if we answer that question, it may lead us away. But if we never get around to answering Jesus' question, what are you looking for? I fear we may miss what God has for us. I fear we won't see the revelation of God. Now, why, Pastor, where are you going? Well, we see what happens in our text. We see what happens when people of deep faith respond to Jesus' question, what are you looking for? Not only do they make themselves available to experience God's revelation in their midst, but they also tell everybody they meet that they experienced God. So now this is about experience and it is about witness. John the Baptist was one of those people of faith who knew that there was a call on his life. He knew that there was something he needed to do. So he started baptizing people. He started preaching. Now, I don't know how long John preached. I don't know how long and how many people John baptized before he encountered the anointed one. I don't know how many times John thought maybe he was wasting his time. I don't know how many times John said, I ought to just quit doing this. I don't see anything happening right now. I don't know. I imagine it must have been lonely for John because people looked at him like he was crazy. You're out in the wilderness baptizing people in the Jordan. What's wrong with you? And I'm sure John said, what is wrong with me? Why am I doing it? Twice, John admits, I did not even know the Lamb of God. I didn't even recognize God. But the unspoken question to John And the unspoken question to which he was responding was, "What are you looking for, John?" And it was in the act of baptizing Jesus that John found who and what he was looking for. It was in the sacramental service that he beheld the truth that he wanted. When John baptized Jesus and saw that dove descending upon him, John finally found out what he was looking for. He found power. He found life. Guess what? He found God. If John had given up, if John had stopped serving because of his frustration, if John had just left everything because he didn't see anything changing, if he just gave up because he was impatient, he would not have experienced power, life, and God. But John kept showing up. John kept preaching. John kept participating. John kept performing the rituals and sacraments of faithful life in hopes of experiencing God's revelation. And by doing that, John accepted the invitation to come and see. And he found what he was looking for, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. The Lamb of God who rescues us from this mess. That's my translation. The Lamb of God who draws us near to him. Don't buy what they're selling you. Sin. Didn't say sins. Sin. The separation from God. The Lamb of God who is going to eliminate our separation from God. The Lamb of God, the one who's going to draw us in and near. But John didn't stop there. When John encountered the power and life in the person of Jesus, when John found that Lamb of God, he testified to his own disciples about his experience. Let me tell you what that means. Here was a preacher who wasn't worried about his ministry. Here was a minister who didn't care about whether or not he had a church or followers. He pointed to Jesus. Let me say it this way. Here was a minister who didn't care if he had a job because he found the Lamb of God. He pointed to Jesus. He wasn't concerned about anything. I found the one. And so he told others. And look at the chain reaction. At John's testimony, Andrew and another one of his disciples began to follow Jesus. And Jesus turned and saw them and said, he asked the question that I keep asking us, the question I keep asking myself, what are you looking for? And the disciples answer. And for many years I say, what kind of answer is that? But the disciples answer, where are you staying? Now, I know we assume that they are asking Jesus, where is he living physically? As in, where are you eating, Jesus? Where are you sleeping? Where are you watching TV? Where are you hanging out? But the disciples are really asking a deeper question. Remember, we're looking for meaning and purpose and connection. What the disciples are really asking are, Jesus, Jesus, where are you? Where are you dwelling? Where are you abiding? Where are you present? Where is that life-giving, liberating presence that we've been hungering for? Where are you? Because when I look at Caesar, I don't see you. When I look at the violence around me, I don't see you. When I look at the hate, I don't see you. Where are you, Jesus, where I can feel your peace and your love? And Jesus says, come and see. Come and see. And I believe that invitation for us to come and see is Jesus' affirmation that Jesus is always there. Jesus is the one who abides and remains and endures and continues and dwells all around us, even in the midst of hate and violence and rejection. Jesus is the one who abides. Jesus is the one who remains, endures, continues. In our search for meaning and purpose and connection, Jesus stands before us as the Lamb, the Son, the Teacher, the Messiah. And all we have to do, here's the clincher. Here's where I'm going to rope you in. And I hope you hang on with me. All we have to do is keep showing up. All we have to do is keep participating. All we got to do is keep singing and keep baptizing and preaching. We keep praying and testifying. We keep serving and loving our neighbor. God, when we wonder if our call is there, what are we called to be and do when we find ourselves wanting to pull back from community of faith because it doesn't feel like the place we want it to be? I hope that your prayer includes the questions: where are you to be found, teacher? Where are you to be found, Lamb? Where can I go where you are? And Jesus' response is going to be over and over again, even if you don't like it: come and see, child. Come, and not physical sight, by the way. Come and see. Come and be where I am. Come and experience me. Then you say, but where are you? Where are you? The question keeps coming, where are you? Jesus abides in the breaking of the bread and the drinking of the cup. Jesus abides and dwells in the waters of baptism that is the source of our regeneration and rebirth. Jesus endures in the hearts and service of the faithful who gather right here in unity. Jesus remained present in all God's children, whether you like them or not. Jesus continues to be the revelation of God, even if you don't want to see the revelation. We are about to celebrate the life of a preacher. Dr. King thought he would go to a little church in Montgomery, Alabama. And his intention was to be one of those scholar preachers. Sit back and read his books and pontificate in his sermons. The black middle class will pay his salary and he would just enjoy a quiet, peaceful life. But even as he decided to do that, he testifies that, I was looking for something. And the question kept coming from God: what are you looking for? What exactly are you looking for? And even in his most frustrated times, he testifies that at the danger and the fear of what was going to happen in his life during this whole time, what are you looking for? And he found what God had for him. Many times I want to turn away from it. He said, I want to turn away from it. So Dr. King went and saw. And did something that we tend to overlook. People wondered, why do you have so much faith in the people who will harm you? Why do you preach love in the way that you preach it when they don't love you? And many times, he wanted to give up. And some would have said, it's okay to give up. It's too hard. It's too intractable. You're not making any difference in the world. One step forward, two steps back. But he went, and he beheld the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. Even as the world mired itself in its own sin of hate, he dreamed. He dreamed. And so, as you begin to wonder what this year will be for you, as you begin to contemplate it, why do I keep showing up? As you begin to decide where you're going to go and how you're going to get there, remember that Jesus is the one who invites us over and over again to come. Let me put it this way. You've already been met halfway. You don't even have to go searching for it. No one in our text today had to go very far. No one had to go very far. God was waiting to be revealed right in their midst. So already we've been met halfway. What are you looking for? Turn around and see where God is abiding. See where Jesus is dwelling. And go and stay